If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Let's talk about Lil Baby again, because this is someone who we've talked about, releasing a new album quite a bit in the past already, over the past couple of months, but he's just announced something and just tweeted something that completely changes up the game as to when this album is coming out and what it will be like. So today, I wanted to discuss that, so let's jump straight into this. So Lil Baby is rumored to release an album. We've, for example, gotten tweets like "My turn again," "It's gonna be a nasty summer." He said an album almost done, new music on the way though, back in February, so we knew that an album was almost done, which is kind of hinting at a new record, of course. But then also he said in March that he's gonna drop a video every few weeks until. So we kind of were guessing that he's going to drop a video and a song every few weeks until the album comes out. So that was kind of the premise we had on that. And he did come through with it in the first kind of week that he announced this with, or the beginning of April, I think it was, with Right On, which also got a video, which is the track doing better of the two of them he dropped. I really like that track. It kind of sets up, a new era of Lil Baby perfectly. Him saying like, I'm better and back and better than ever before and stuff like that. And he also released In a Minute that also got a video on the same day, so we got a 2-pack that day. And In a Minute is by far my favorite track out of the two, just because I've been listening to the leaks for the weeks before it dropped, the Pound Cake remix leaks that were all around, so I really love that record quite as well. So that's kind of like the singles we've gotten, ever since he announced that a new album was coming. And then also about, I think it was at the end of April now, he dropped Frozen. And Frozen is a track that leaked for a very long time and that he's now finally dropped as a new single for this album, which a lot of fans were kind of upset about. They said that he's only dropping the tracks that already leaked. He's not dropping any new music, like, In a Minute and Frozen both got leaked before and basically everybody had heard them. But of course, leading up to a new record, we can expect a lot of unreleased material to come out as well. But let's actually look at this new tweet that he composed only today, a couple of hours ago, and what this means for this new record. So Lil Baby took to Twitter today to tweet July something 2022 and then a bunch of fire emojis. So this, in traditional fashion that we've seen artists do this a lot of times before, gives us the month of April that a new Lil Baby album will be dropping. Now this, artists always use this formula in announcing their records when they don't have a sure date yet, but they kind of want to give the fans a sneak peek and get them hyped up for a new record. And I think July is a pretty good time. He can dominate the summer with that, and I think that will, it's just a dope time to release. When you look at July, there are actually a bunch of Fridays that he can release it on because it starts with the 1st. So July 1st is a Friday. He got 5 days in Friday that he can release it on, namely, as I said, the 1st, then the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. So those are the dates that Lil Baby could possibly be dropping. So if you want to kind of mark that in your calendar already, then go ahead and do so. Those are the 5 dates that are now come into question with him dropping this new album. We don't know very much about the record. We know that Lamborghini Boys is still out there. We know that that's supposed to be the mixtape though. The mixtape that is only going to feature artists that own a Lamborghini, that was originally supposed to drop back in 2020 but got pushed back because of the pandemic, which is now a silly excuse. But there's also an album out there, and I know I've talked about the difference between the two quite a lot in the past already, but just kind of get everybody caught up on this. There's this other big album then that's not a mixtape. So Lamborghini Boys is a mixtape, and we got an album coming out, and that album is very special to Baby because it's the first time that he's actually writing out all of the verses, while back, over his whole career, he's basically just been freestyling all of his verses, all of his songs, and that's a big difference. He says that he learned this from Drake and that he's kind of more focused on writing now, which I think is going to be dope. We've seen him evolve with this with him as a writer and as a lyricist over the past couple of months and 1 to 2 years as well. Maybe especially since My Turn and the Bigger Picture name, most notably to name here. So this album does seem very special to Lil Baby. It'll be the follow-up to 2020's My Turn, which was, the crazy album that really just blew him up on another level and that, made him go down as probably one of the best ones of this generation, and just completely, catapulted him into the forefront of this new generation. He's since then, of course, also dropped The Voice of the Heroes with Lil Durk, which was an amazing tape as well, that didn't do as well as My Turn, but just to be affiliated with Durk and have that connection right there is all just doing him, good for his entire career and his entire process as an artist. So this new record does hold a lot of weight, does hold a lot of importance for the fans, but also for everybody just watching him, also for him to prove himself again, because we did not get a single, just Lil Baby project in over 2 years, and so it's going to go two ways. We have high expectations for this. He can completely outdo them, and we're just going to be like, okay, he's here to stay. Like, we know he's here to stay, but like on like another level. Y'all know I have this prediction that Lil Baby is the Jay-Z of this generation. And if he can just come through with a, consistently with classic music, with solid verses, not just rapping about dumb shit, but actually, having substance matter to them. If we can see him evolve creatively, artistically, and personally over the course of his records, which we have so far, especially My Turn. Before that, I think Street Gossip was the last one that was really like big on that, of him just evolving. I think then he can really, kind of be here to stay. Or this, we could just be disappointed, kind of like what happened with the new Jack Harlow record. That is not really, it's not bad, but it's just really not on par with what we, kind of like the trajectory we expected him to go at. He kind of underflew that a little bit, and this could also happen with Lil Baby, but I do have my hopes up. The singles so far, and that's kind of what I also want to say, these are probably going to be singles: In a Minute, Right On, and Frozen. They do sound pretty dope, all of them very consistent. We do see different vibes of him turning up a little bit again on Right On, but then also getting more introspective on In a Minute, and just a kind of very solid song with Frozen. So I'm in good spirits for this record. I think that Lil Baby can come through with an amazing record in July, and it's probably going to be called Wham, but we don't know that for sure. I'm going to have to keep y'all updated as we learn more about this, so make sure you subscribe to the channel to always stay up to date with this new Lil Baby record. Now, kind of, wrapping it up, basically what happened, Lil Baby announced that his new album is dropping in July, and we have a couple of singles for it so far, and I'm going to keep it updated. Now, of course, I want to know what you think about this. When do you think it's dropping? We got 5 different options in July. What did you think of the singles so far? Frozen, In a Minute, and Right On. What was your favorite track of all of those? And what do you expect from this new Lil Baby record, Wham or Lamborghini Boys, or whatever it's going to turn out to be? All of this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.